Just let me know when.
When. Hey, everybody.
Aces.
Aces. Smooth intro.
I think it fits. It fits with the theme of the show. And also, I guess we should maybe mention that the countdown timer does not reflect how long this pre-show will be.
No. So if you think, oh, I have enough time to go pour a drink, you don't.
No.
You got 30
No.
seconds tops.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this thing up soon. I see, JV, we are live. You are live, but really, are we live? Every week, I always have that little. I'm not sure if Paul has actually hit the button yet, and it's hard when you're not in the driver's seat to always know what's going on.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I should. You know what? That's a leadership note, and I'll take it.
Okay.
Not leading the show, but leading this keyboard of functions that I should let you know.
Maybe do a little countdown. That would be nice.
We should count down before the countdown.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, not a pre-show, but if you just kind of did one of these little guys where you... Okay, I didn't do that very well.
Okay.
But, just signal
Let's
to
practice.
me like on TV.
You want to practice right now?
Okay, let's practice.
All right. So when I hit 0, then we're going to pretend we're going live. 5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, hey, didn't notice you there.
Hey.
Welcome.
We're in pre-show time. This is exciting.
Okay, let's take that from the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What? Live right now?
Hey, Paul.
Hey,
This is
Kat.
exciting.
Look at us
We're live on the pre-show.
doing a show, talking,
Yeah.
lying to people. We told people it would be only a 30-minute intro, and already just full of lies.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. 30 minutes would be a long intro.
Be very long.
I could not dance for 30 minutes.
Have you danced at all? We
No.
don't dance on our pre-show.
I like to think conversation in a way is like a dance.
Oh. Well played.
The verbs and the adjectives or the back and forth, the real, dance.
Delicate dance.
A delicate dance.
Yeah.
A delicate dance.
So should we go live now? Should we kick this thing off?
No.
No? Did something
No,
happen?
I just wanted to drive you crazy because I know that was your subtle way of like, let's go. It's 102.
Yeah.
Or
I feel like
402.
Would you say that I am stepping on your toes with this dance move of mine?
No, I think you. Let me lead, Kat.
All right. Let's do this.
A smooth volume deduction? I don't know. Hello! Hey, everybody. Welcome to an all-new episode of Are We Live Now, where my head looks significantly larger than Kat's.
I would not agree with that sentiment.
Oh, no,
I feel like
actually,
we're actually pretty on par.
you're right. Well, nothing but mistakes so far on my end. Kat's nailing it. She's doing great.
I think you're projecting, or maybe something's going off. And
Something's going on. This show is going off the rails. 4 minutes in? Well,
because I looked and I saw that Paul from Love Audio Production said your graphics are off the chart, and I glanced down, I saw the word off, and so that is what happened there. I saw the word and it just jumped into my speech. That's what happened.
Got it. So what if I'm hearing you say correctly, is Love Audio caused this issue?
Yes.
Got it. Love Audio,
no,
get it together.
I caused it because I was distracted because I saw that we've got some comments coming in from our lovely viewers, and I got a little excited, and then that was word jumble that came out.
Let me pull those up, but I realized I don't have the software to pull those up right now, so we can just talk in the meantime.
Okay. Um, is that VMix social? Would that be what is required for this?
It is vmix. Can I
Okay.
rant for a hot second?
Yeah, please.
Vmix social, guys, you're lovely. You're delightfully uncomfortable on camera. Do me a favor. I mean that with all the love in the world. But they always seem like, can I say this? They remind me, if they were like little squirrels, they would scare very easily. It would take you a very long time until they were willing to come, you know, hang out with you. But they seem delightful. Guys, can you please in vmix social allow for multiple login accounts so I'm not having to constantly log in with different email addresses? So
Oh, because we've got an are we live now email. Is that what's going on?
yeah, and if you agree in the comments, put amen.
Do we have any VMix users?
Oh,
Pretty
maybe not.
sure pretty sure JV is eCam, correct me if I'm wrong. And I don't know about Paul with Love Audio, whether you are a VMix or an eCam or something else, OBS. I don't know. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. I'm sorry too.
Wait, were you making fun of my Canadianness there?
No, I'm working on my accents, so I'm just kind of like expanding my ability. Process,
You know,
sorry.
I
I'm
have
working
to
along with
share
it.
that every every time somebody says progress, I think about the fact that I say progress and sometimes progress. It both come out. But now I'm so aware of that word, and it stands out every time someone uses it.
Oh, I'm
Can,
sorry. I wasn't trying to make you super self-conscious.
oh no. This is more of just me noticing that since this show, and really, let's be fair, I don't think you're the main one who pokes fun at me. I think there's a few other people who like to poke fun at the way I say it. But which is okay, because there's nothing wrong with how I pronounce it. But
Is it
I'm
okay,
now
Kat?
hyper
You can put
aware
them
of
on blast.
paying attention to how other people pronounce it. And I think maybe it is a dead giveaway that I come from a different place. So, and Paul shared he uses vMix HD. So we do have a vMix user.
Nice.
Hey, you've got it working.
Hey,
Great.
look at that.
I was going to ask Paul, do we want to check in with how the last week has gone?
I would love to.
That's not a great face. What's happening?
I don't know. I'm not sure why that trigger got all weird for a second. Did you hear that? Did you hear the ring at the beginning?
No.
Did you hear anything?
So I don't even, lately, the last few weeks, I haven't even heard our intro music. So I just trust you that it's happening.
Oh, you know what? I know why. I know why. That's
Okay.
on me. Cat, 100%. That's my feeling.
This is all part of the new live streamer experience. So it's authentic and it's on brand.
Cat, you've been faking it great. Like I assumed you were hearing everything.
So was there sound just then with
I heard sound in
Oh,
my
you did. Okay.
headset. I heard sound.
So let us know in the comments or the chat, did you hear sound with
Uh-oh.
the little graphic there? Geez,
Uh-oh.
that was loud. Oh. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I didn't know it was so loud. Also, please take me off a 50-inch. This looks good on up to a 24. Anything larger? No thanks. Not for
Yeah,
this
I'm
face.
curious. I would actually really appreciate if you take a screenshot of this because I can't even imagine what we look like on a 50-inch screen right now. All right. So let's talk about the last week.
Mhm.
Paul, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. So let's see. Something good actually is I'm trying it right now. I moved my microphone was frustrating me. I was trying to come in this way. I was trying to put the arm this way, but I finally decided to try different. It's above me right now. So I don't know
Oh,
if it sounds okay, but it's barely out of the camera.
yeah.
Boop. Yeah. So
Oh, there it is.
there it is. So trying it. It's different. I like having all this space.
Yeah, that's a good
So
idea.
that's going well. How about you?
So, well, now I sound like a broken record because I'm still not actually doing live streams outside of this stream. However, I did take advantage of the restream deal and decided because I have not had it up until now, and so I did decide to pounce cat joke pounce on that deal, and I want to maybe play around with this idea of doing a simulcast for the new content, which I think I alluded to that I brainstormed a bunch of stuff. So I want to take some time, put all that together, and then come up craft what exactly is this new direction going to look like. But I do want to continue to do more live streams and come up with, okay, what's a time that works for the audience and all of that stuff. So I think there's some excitement there on my end with all of that.
You know what? I think that sounds like a perfect deal.
Oh, and okay, we talked about this last week, and I was going to mention on the show, but I think we were going a little long. I'm conscious of that, so I didn't actually share it. And you were trying to hint, and I didn't get the hint.
I'm not big enough with my hints.
No, your hint was too subtle. So the good that has happened, which is not about live streaming, but about my YouTube channel, my Ditching Diets and Diet YouTube channel, is that one of my videos has really taken off with the algorithm, and YouTube notified me a couple of weeks ago. It said, "Hey, one of your videos is performing." It had like balloons and stuff and said it's doing, I think, 150% better. I got real excited because I thought, okay, now YouTube is noticing this and it's starting to promote the video more. And then I got another notification saying, okay, now it's doing 206% better. So I was kind of tracking that and pretty excited. And I think as of yesterday, my best performing video now has over 25,000 views on it, which is kind of hard for me to actually truly wrap my head around.
That's
But it's good
bonkers.
news. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. Yeah.
And have you followed the rabbit hole of after you watch that video, it suggests other videos of yours to watch. Have you noticed those have ticked up as well?
So there are a few that have been. Yeah, there I can kind of see which ones are top performer, but I have for my end screen, I decided that YouTube's algorithm knows the viewer way better than I would, so I do allow YouTube to decide what video it recommends to that user.
Really?
So I don't know if
Interesting.
it's recommending the ones that are getting more views, but yeah, I'm not really sure. So
Oh.
it's just it's really interesting, and it's been fascinating to watch. And it's funny. I look at my other channel, which I have now officially rebranded. So it's now Cat Mulvihill instead. It used to be My Happy Insides. Now it's Cat Mulvihill. And when I look at the view counts, it's like 20, 30, and they're so modest, like small YouTuber numbers, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just so completely such a huge contrast to the way my Ditching Diets and Diet channel is doing right now. They're just at polar opposite ends.
But if I understand right, you're still okay hanging out with people who are under 500 subscribers?
Yeah,
Okay, you're still socializing with people like that? That's nice.
yeah.
That's nice.
I feel like that's actually where that's that's my home.
No,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's such incredible growth. That's super cool.
It's
So,
I have to, because people have asked me questions about, okay, what did you do? I want to know. And I have to admit that when I was researching whether I wanted to let my hair grow, which obviously you can see that I am, I went to YouTube and I noticed that there were helpful videos with really high view counts, but not a ton of options. So there were people doing it, but not a ton of people doing it, but a
mhm.
lot of people watching it. So I actually identified that this was a bit of an area where I could, if I wanted to share my story, that I'd probably have some decent uptake if I do it right. So that was when you're looking at being strategic about what content, then that's definitely it is a difference maker if you can find that audience, that's maybe being underserved a little bit and is looking for content.
Nice. And Lavadio, thank you for sending us a screen capture of what we look like on 50-inch TVs. I look forward to
That's
checking that
awesome.
out later.
Yeah.
Is there anything that is not working well for you right now, or kind of meh?
Um, I would say that my meh right now is the nervousness that I have around giving this sort of a refresh and trying different content and trying some more live streaming, and the nerves that come with, is this going to land? Do people want to show up for this? Is this the right platform? Like all those questions that you just cannot answer until you actually try. But I know, having experienced this before when I was going live with my Happy Insides, I didn't really have a lot of viewers, like maybe 1, 2 max. And it didn't mean I wasn't getting good feedback from the content, but clearly it wasn't quite the fit. But I think I had mentioned this to you before, is that it's challenging to always, like, it is a long game. And so it's one of those things where you don't want to just try for a few weeks and then give up. You want to try for a while, but sometimes you don't know whether it's worth sticking out in the current form or if you should be pivoting and trying a different direction, if that makes sense.
It does. And I have a quick question. Are you
Yeah.
thinking about going live on which channel are you thinking about going live?
Cat Mulvihill.
Oh, because I'd be very curious to see what would happen with 600 followers on your new channel, or Ditching Diets and Die, and seeing what that would yield in terms of live. Like, you might
Well,
have
it's because
20
the
or 30.
content. Yeah, I think though it's because of the format. So I mean, I would have to do more research, because yes, I have more viewers, but the stuff I want to talk about is actually pertinent to the Cat Mulvihill channel.
Got it.
And I don't necessarily have shows in mind that are connected to the Ditching Diets and Die.
Well, I've done a little bit of research, and my research has shown that people with gray hair are just like us, and they enjoy live as well. I was a little skeptical. I was like, wait a second. You have gray hair and you like live? I'm suspicious. But turns out, true. And I don't know, you might have a very interactive audience interested in chatting it up in a live.
It's possible. I will not, like, I try never to say never say never kind of approach. However, I think because of the stuff that I really want to teach, it doesn't fit on the Ditching Diets and Die channel. And I do think there's also a need for the content that I want to teach on the Cat Mulvihill channel, and that I could probably do it in a live format with more interaction of questions about what I'm teaching. Whereas with the Ditching Diets and Die, I'll be honest, it's not actually that easy to come up with a bunch of different topics about transitioning your gray hair. So just gonna put that out there. That's not always easy to figure out what more can I talk about when it comes to this.
Is one of you're working on a new video, if I remember right, it's called How to Trip People Who Comment About Your Gray Hair. Is that a new video you're working on? How to punch them in the face?
No, I did a video recently about dealing with negative comments and haters, and that video is out. I do not suggest physical violence. No. So, Paul, I'm conscious of time. I want to bring on our guest, but I do want to hear from you. Is there any kind of meh going on right now?
Yeah, so we can talk more about this towards the later end as well, because you're right. Thank you for being conscious of time. I want to be respectful of our guest. My meh right now is honestly about the whole live streaming. Like, what do I do? Like, what direction do I go? I really respect and love the fact that you were like, I need a break, and you took a break, and that was awesome. And then from that, you started to make more videos on YouTube, and there's been wonderful explosive growth on there. And I don't know, just a lot of things. So we can talk more about, I would love to talk more about that, because I don't know if anybody else in the chat feels lost sometimes, and it's like, what am I trying to do with all of this? And is live streaming the best thing that's serving that? So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. Big questions.
They're really important questions, though. So I think they are the type of thing, and they are relevant for what we're talking about here with especially when you're new, if you don't have a big audience and you're trying to figure out what's going on, I think that it's a really important thing to consider.
Yep.
So yeah, let's do it. We'll talk about that towards the end of today's show.
Great. Cool. So really quick, super excited. I am excited to have this guest for multiple reasons. And we'll get into those. And he runs the Cutting Edge TV, which is a great channel. Go check it out. And we will add a link below in the description. So please welcome. I need to get a better transition that transitions the guest in. Right now it's just a hard cut. It's not pretty. So I apologize.
Okay.
Wait a second. I think I know what I'm going to do. Hold on a second. Oh boy, this is going to be great. This is going to be fantastic. Please, I'm overselling this. Please welcome Mario Navarro Jr. It worked.
Look at that.
It worked. How exciting. What's up, Mario?
How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Yeah,
Good,
excited to have you.
Super.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you guys again for the invite. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. Hey, so I don't know if everybody knows this, but you kind of came up with a hack. So I just kind of want to get right into a quick hack, the tool that you use to get the amazing audio you have. What do you do? Because I think that could really serve a lot of people.
Yeah, so I was figuring out a way, man, how to, because when we watch an LSP, you see David do all his audio techniques and voices, and I can even put voices. I don't think I have them ready right now. But yeah, I was just searching YouTube and seeing how I can somehow use either GarageBand or some sort of DAW into Ecamm, which is what I use, right? And so I seen something on YouTube where it said you can use this app called Black Hole, and it kind of loops whatever audio that's going into GarageBand into multiple outputs. So that's what I did. And so I'm simply using that app, Black Hole, along with GarageBand, and I just added a noise gate, put some EQ, compression, and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm using, man. Trying to, up my game in this live streaming thing that we do.
It's so smart. As soon as you popped on today, I was like, oh, that's so good. I love it. The audio sounds so good. One thing about live streaming, I'm really starting to appreciate good audio. So you got it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
And I was really appreciative to hear some of this as well, because I have the Yeti, which is also what Mario uses, and it is so sensitive. And while we were getting ready for the show, the mic is so sensitive that my significant other on a different floor behind a closed door came through, and Paul and Mario could hear him on his conference call. I mean, yes, it is work from home life. That happens. There are going to be sounds in the background, but man, it is so sensitive. So hearing these hacks is really helpful for people who might be picking up extra background noise. So thank you for sharing that with us and with the audience.
No problem. Yeah.
So can you tell us your journey? How did you get to live streaming? Because yeah, I would love to hear the story. And I think everybody in chat who's watching as well would love to hear the story about how you got to this place.
Yeah, man, in 2014, I started my YouTube channel while I was still living in California. Well, I at least put it up, but I didn't put any videos there. I had the idea, I had the plan. And then it was not until I moved here to northeastern Nevada where I was like, okay, I got to get serious about this, because this way I can kind of still keep in touch with the people back there in California, So I started just making pre-recorded videos, editing them, putting them on my channel. And then it was not until the pandemic happened where I was like, okay, I see people are gearing more towards doing stuff live. So that's what really piqued my interest on doing live stream. And I remember one night, it was a Friday night, where I just had an itch to go live. I didn't really go live before, but I wanted to go on Facebook Live. And when I went on Facebook Live, everyone just started commenting, saying hi, this and that. And that kind of got me juiced. I was like, oh, hey, this is kind of cool, And it was during a Friday night, and as a Seventh Day Adventist Christian, we keep the Sabbath, we worship and rest on Friday sunset to Friday Saturday. So my wife was like, "Hey, go ahead and just give a devotion while you have this audience." So I took like 10, 15 minutes, pulled up some scripture and shared it and got a good response, man. People were saying, putting amen, praise the Lord, and all that type of stuff.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that kind of, yeah, geared me, put my mindset in, hey, this may work. So that's how I started doing live streaming on my channel.
I love that. So
That's great.
so your wife suggested do the scripture part, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then that resonated, so then you kept doing it.
Exactly. Yep. That's what happened.
That's very cool. Neat. Um, and I would love for you to like talk, if you could talk a little bit about that. So, you said you live in Northeast Nevada in a very
Yeah.
small town. What's the
Mhm.
population of that town? Do you know?
Man, I can check. I think when I came here,
Because I Google
it
mapped
was
it, and I
like,
was like, oh, that's very tiny.
yeah, it was like, I want to say like 20,000 or something like that. I don't know what it is now, but I know when I first came here, when I looked, and it wasn't updated. I think it said like a little over 10,000, 15. It wasn't that many people. But now I think, it's grown, the community has grown, and there are other little cities on the outskirts. So those little cities are growing too. So it's a small town, yeah, in the middle of nowhere, but we're getting used to it out here so far. So at least I am. I don't know about my wife. I can't speak for my wife, but yeah, I
I love.
am. She's a city girl.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a change for sure. I
Mhm.
love the fact that you're like, well, I'm not gonna let this small town, nothing wrong with small towns, but they're not gonna let
Yeah.
this confine me to getting my message out there, whatever message
Mhm.
that is for people. And I think that's so powerful and awesome that you're like, I have this technology, let me utilize it to reach more people. I don't know. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, in fact, that's what my whole mindset into doing live was all about, because I was like, well, since I'm not in a big city, I can make it look like I'm in a big city or something. I can make the appearance as though this is something big. So, yeah, trying to put a little city on the map, and slowly but surely, the channel is growing, and I'm hoping just to, continue to grow as I do these lives.
That's cool.
So can I ask a follow-up, because you shared that first experience you just kind of went on live and you're sort of
Yeah.
trying out, and that you just took that suggestion of doing the scripture and that resonated. So what kind of happened after that? How did you evolve with what you were doing with your live streams?
That's a good question. Yeah, after that, what I did was I started to go live every Friday. Um, I came with an idea going live Friday because by this time, because the pandemic hit, I had a video on my channel called 10 Reasons Why the Second Coming is near, is close. And that video just started getting views like hotcakes. And a lot of questions started to appear there. So what I did was I went live on Friday. I think it was either Friday afternoons, Friday evenings. In fact, I wouldn't suggest this. I went live twice. One in the afternoon on YouTube, and this before I knew about Restream, and then one in the evening on Facebook. And so I was doing two lives, the same content, the same day, but just different times and different platforms. But what I did was I would take two or three of the questions, the Bible questions that people had, and I would answer them live. And then at the end of the show, give people like 10, 15 minutes if they wanted to if they had a question right there on the spot for me to try to answer it right then. And I'll tell you, that's one of the hardest things to do, man. Having questions thrown your way, just randomly when you're not prepared. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing every Fridays. I started doing that on my channel.
That is
I
that's genius.
I really like that idea of you have a video, it's getting lots of comments, and so you obviously know that there are questions specific to that. So leveraging that and turning that into content is a very, very good idea.
That's so smart. Yeah, that is a really good idea. Also, great way to get good at going live, doing reps on both the same exact content, but just
Yeah.
multiple places. That's like just putting in your reps, man, getting really good at answering questions.
For real, I felt sorry for the YouTube one because that's the one I did first. So the YouTube audience was getting the nasty version, you know, and the Fairfield, I mean the Facebook audience was getting the more polished ones. But yeah, man, my reps, I was getting my reps in for sure.
I like that.
So
That's a really
can
smart way of doing it.
well, I'm curious, the thing that I like about that is that you probably learned which time was actually better. So did you take that information and then once you discovered you could use Restream, did you then pick which time got a better response or just you more worked with what worked for you?
Yeah, the reason why I decided to do the evening on Facebook is because that's when I first, the first live was in the evening on Friday on Facebook. And so I knew that at least more of my church folks would be on there. So they would, they would kind of be ready to watch. But YouTube I did in the afternoon because when I was looking at the YouTube statistics and stuff, it said that around that time most of the audience was on, most of my audience was on, so I try to utilize that time to use that live stream on YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, and I don't think we mentioned this up front. If anybody in the chat has questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and we will pass those to Mario. And yeah, we forgot to mention that. So this is very interactive. If you have questions, definitely let us know, and we can push those out. So cool. So Mario, when you were thinking about starting, or even after you started, what really helped? Was there any piece of content out there, any video, um, any podcast you heard that kind of taught you a couple things that we can let other people know about?
Yeah, when I was getting a little bit more serious about the YouTube channel, one of the channels called Think Media, Sean Kennel, you guys heard of him before?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, his channel really helped me because he was his teaching was geared towards like beginners, right? Lighting, cameras, and on a budget. That was my one of my things, right? On a budget. So his channel really helped me a lot. And then when I was started doing live, I stumbled across I think one of David's videos because he was talking about the Elgato Camlink,
Mhm.
and I said, okay, yeah, this dude kind of knows what he's talking about. And then one of my pastor friends told me that he was going live. He was using Ecamm. I never heard of Ecamm before. So he told me to do some research on it. And that's when I stumbled across one of Loria's videos and found out about LSP. And so those were kind of the two channels that, the videos that I really looked at that really taught me how to go live, and not just live, but YouTube in general.
Nice. Oh, sorry. I feel like I'm monopolizing. Kat, was there a question you wanted to ask or anything?
Well, no, I don't think, well, I don't think you're monopolizing. But the question, I guess, that I was thinking related to that was if you could go back and start all over again, is there any advice that you would give to yourself when you were starting out?
I would have started right away. That's what I would have done. And I would have took advantage because I don't know, Paul, you said the audio is sounding crispy. It's sounding good, right? But I know the video may not be good because of where I'm at. Our internet service, we only have one main internet service provider,
Mhm.
and there's not that much competition. And in my area, the internet is not all that good. So I may be coming in all pixelated, but hey, you got to go live anyway. However, see, if I would have known this in California, I was getting Comcast cable. I was getting like 100 download, 100 up. Like it was ridiculous. And if I would have known that back then, I would have been taking advantage of going live, way, way back then. So that's what, if I can go back in time, I would have told myself, hey, just go live with whatever you have. Do it and do it now because once you go to Elko, it's not going to be good.
So important lesson. It can always get worse. is what you're saying. Is
It
that the
always gets
is that the
worse.
walk away message we should? I'm kidding. First, your video, audio, both
Yeah.
look great today. So
Oh,
Yeah,
praise
nothing
God. All
wrong with your
right.
video.
Good.
maybe
Okay,
everybody,
good.
I don't know, everybody's doing other stuff, but they're off. The bandwidth is great. Um, was there a unique? So, how long have you been a pastor? Because I imagine that is hugely helpful in going live, or was it? Or was there a correlation between feeling comfortable live and pastoring?
Yeah, I've been pastoring now for 4 years officially. An official, a senior pastor. Have a district here, Elko, Winnemucca. These are other towns, right, that I pastor in. Elko, Winnemucca, which is 2 hours away from where we live in Elko, and then another church which is 3 hours away called Ely. So these are the churches that I pastor, and I've been pastoring here for 4 years now. But before pastoring here, I was what they call a Bible worker or a Bible instructor. And I was doing that for 10 years, where I was at different churches. I first started off in another small town called Yale, Virginia. So I was in Virginia for about half a year. This was before I was married. Then I got a call back to Sacramento, where I was working at a church, in fact, in West Sacramento. And then I got called back to my hometown, home church in Fairfield, where I was also doing Bible work. And I was pretty much like an assistant pastor. I would preach a lot. I would go to different places. So definitely doing public speaking has helped in my live stream. The only difference is that instead of speaking to a congregation, now I'm simply speaking to this one-eyed monster, this camera, right? So that is kind of that's kind of the hard part. That's the little transition. But yeah, comfortable speaking because of what I was doing in the past. Yeah, that definitely helped me in this live streaming.
It is a little weird looking at the camera. Where do you put us, like me and Kat? Where are we relative to the camera? Because I think sometimes people are, I don't know, what do you do to overcome that? Are you putting our visuals very close to the camera lens? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I have the laptop hooked up to a secondary monitor.
Hmm.
And so I just put your guys' face, and the camera is like in front of the monitor. And so I just put your guys' face right there. So I'm just using my basketball point guard skills, using my peripherals where you guys are, and then still trying to look right at this lens. So that's another thing, man, I had to learn, just keeping my eyes focused on the lens. So I'm still trying to learn, but getting better as time goes on, I think.
Nice. How often are
Yeah,
you
I
going
was.
live
I'm
now?
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kat. What was it?
There
Oh, we
goes
can go to
Paul
that question.
monopolizing again.
I know.
He's not. He's really not.
I'm
I'm
just,
just messing.
yeah, I'm taking all the property on Monopoly and I'm not letting anybody else play. I own all the railroads and everybody else is going to jail. Question. Um, Boy, that game can be boring. Uh, how often do you go live now?
Right now, I decided just to go live once a week.
Okay.
So every Monday morning at 10 a.m. I go live. I have a show called Monday Morning Manna, where I do a simple devotion to get people's week to start off right. Just get it on the right track with some scripture. With I usually choose like a story from the New Testament, one that's easy to understand, but something that has a point where we can kind of apply it to our lives and throughout the week. So, yeah, just one for now. I'm really wanting to pick up that Bible Q&A again, but for now, I think just going on live Monday is good enough for me. Just for now, yeah.
Well, I think when you talk about that, it's a really important thing if we think about frequency, like how often are we doing these? Because it's easy to get excited or maybe overambitious, and then especially during a time where there are a lot of stressors on us, sometimes
Yeah.
it's nice to just say, okay, I'm going to pick with what I can do and do well,
Yep.
and then maybe I can reevaluate later. But I know I definitely had a little bit of that taken on too much all at once because I was just so excited. And then realizing, yeah, maybe I need to reel it back a little bit and just focus on doing one thing really well at a time and then seeing if I can add on in a way that's sustainable.
Yeah, that's true. What I want to do with the Monday live stream too is kind of build that audience, build that community, and then from there take it to take it to another level. But yeah, so far I think one day a week is good enough. And the reason why I chose Monday too, not only to start the week off right, is because my wife's job, she's usually off on Monday. So that way she could take the kids and hide them in a little box, so that I can be up in here and you can't hear them screaming. Yeah. So right now the kids are doing good. So, let's keep it up in prayer, man. They're in there. They're watching something on they're not in the box, not they're not in the box, but they're in the living room right now watching like a DVD
Yeah.
or something, so to make sure the upload speed is all right at least. So yeah. So
Ah,
yeah, so it's good. It's good.
yeah. No, they're doing really well right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many valuable tips. Get a box, put your children in it, then stream. Order of operations.
There you go.
Shove those kids in a box so you can have some fun streaming. I like it.
I feel like we need a disclaimer on this episode.
Oh, these are all jokes. Everything coming out of my mouth, don't take seriously if you're watching this YouTube. First couple hellos. Everybody wants to say hi. Hey, Stu. Island Paul.
Yeah, Paul, what time is it for you? It would be, is it early morning? How early? I'm curious. Let us know in the comments.
I don't know, but it seems like he's drinking because
He got some drink there.
Oh,
it
he
looks
does.
like
Yeah, he does have a lot
surfing.
of emojis.
So he
Is that
seems
a
like
spring chicken?
yeah, he's in love. It's the morning. He's drinking and then going surfing. Oh boy, Paul, you're in trouble.
8:45.
That seems like a dangerous combination.
8:40. Okay, 8:45 is not too bad.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin's joining us from the UK, where it would be evening right now. Let's
And interpreting these
I'm
message, Mario, what you're
I'm
saying is
working,
straight fire.
not drinking. And I'm curious, Kevin, in the UK, what time is it now? I can never tell. So, this is a total random aside, just related to time. That our province decided that it like set up some legislation that we would be on track to get rid of the time change, but that can only happen if both Quebec and New York State agree to it. And I was like, okay, well, I just don't think so. We basically have to wait for New York and Quebec before we can actually stop doing this whole bouncing time back and forth. All right.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
late night.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
9:42.
it's late. Or that's not too late. This is
No.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking care of people from all over. They can join us right now. Oh, up north. Yeah. I think a few of us were on a call recently, and when they said, "Where are you from?" and they would just say north or south. It wouldn't actually say the city or the town, just north or south for our friends over in Britain. All right, Paul, anything
Yes.
else that is on top of mind that we want to ask our guest before we
I did
wrap up?
want to ask, what was the reason you stopped doing the Fridays? Did you just find that Mondays were resonating more with your viewers? And also, follow-up question, did you check in with what works for your viewers? Because I know for me sometimes I think, oh, what do I want to do? But sometimes it's probably really helpful to think what works best for people who want to participate. So,
Yeah, I stopped doing the Fridays, just to be honest, because I fell off, man. It was I just stopped. And I got a lot, I got busy just learning, because again, with the church, we had to now start doing our services online via Zoom. And so we had some services Friday nights that I had to do on Zoom that kind of stopped that, to kind of stop that Q&A going on, and then just had to kind of recalibrate. And then I think even Lita came about, and so you all know about Lita, man. I had to like stop everything and then just kind of focus on those 31 days. And so, but after that, that's where I got the idea of going live on Monday mornings. And so yeah, that's where I started Mondays and kind of left Fridays for now. But again, in the future, I'm gonna try to start that up again.
Cool.
Hmm.
Also, quick question. I'm wondering, is there any like awkward moment that you've had while streaming?
Yeah, I had one. I think it was a few weeks ago. I was streaming Monday morning. My wife, again, she's usually off that day, but her coworker, I think she had vacation that week, so she was called in. And I told my kids, mama's not here, but y'all gotta chill, all right? I'm about to do this live, so don't come in. And of course, while I was in the middle of the live, um, and I was getting into it, man. People were commenting, I was on a roll. And then next thing you know, my 8-year-old and my 5-year-old, my 8-year-old daughter, my 5-year-old boy, they're pretty good about just staying out there. But my 2-year-old, she was, y'all heard of terrible twos, right? She was advanced. She was terrible before she hit 2, right? But once she hit 2, when she comes in the room, I'm telling you, she's like the police. She just kicks down the door and starts saying "Dada" and so that's what happened, right? She kicked down the door, started playing with the toys, was really loud. My son then came in, started playing with the toys too, and it kind of threw me off. And Paul, I'm like you, man. If things aren't really going as planned,
Hmm.
this fire from within started burning, right? But I had to play it off, in front of the camera. But and as they were back there playing, they were getting louder and louder, where I got to a point where I was like, all right, kids, it's time. Y'all need to get out, okay? Dada's got to finish whatever. And they didn't want to get out. So I kind of got firm with them. And I don't know how that translated in the camera. I don't even think I watched that live stream, but people may be calling like protective services on me or something. Now, I didn't, I was I firmly told them to get out. And then once they got out, you can hear like my son, because of the sensitive Yeti mic cat, right, crying in the background. Yeah. So,
Oh.
but what I learned from and that was so awkward, man. I was so embarrassed. But what I learned from that is, instead of trying to like control that whole atmosphere, because we all know in live we can't control everything at times, right? So
Mhm.
I'm learning now just to embrace it, and now just have them part of the show. Just tell them, just like what I did before we came on, right? They busted in the doors. Just go ahead, tell them to say hi real quick, tell them bye,
Yeah.
and then send them on their way.
Hmm.
So instead of like getting all upset and allowing that fire to just burn, yeah, just kind of curve it in a different direction, and and just let the flow, let it flow.
And what I love about that is that because you treat it like it's normal, like you just treat like them
Yep.
coming in, hey, is totally normal. Everybody watching is like, oh, this is normal. But it's only when you
Yeah,
treat it as wrong and bad, that's when it starts to break down. I love that.
that's right.
Nice.
Hmm.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people who can relate, because right now there are people who are balancing all sorts of responsibilities while they're on conference calls or in
Hmm.
meetings online. So I think it humanizes all of us, reminds us all that yes, times are very different right now. So we cannot have the ideal that we wish we could have, and that's okay.
Yeah, it reminded me of. Do you guys remember that? It was like a video where the newscaster was doing his news broadcast, live, and then his kids came in, and then the nanny, or his, I don't know, his wife came in, right? But I had no one to grab the kids out, right? So, yeah, that it
Yeah.
happens, man. It happens. So yeah, just gotta roll with the punches sometimes.
That's the
Mhm.
best. I love that clip. Kat, have you seen that clip?
I have. I think he's from the UK, right? And his one daughter comes in and the other's in a stroller, and then she comes in and
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
swings on
yeah,
a. That was pre-pandemic, so that was pretty
it
funny because
was.
we were not used to seeing that.
That's true. That's true.
That's cool. So before I say goodbye, any tips or suggestions that you give anybody thinking about going live? What would you tell them if they're like, I'm nervous, I can't do this. Oh no.
Yeah, I guess one of the tips, man, if you are serious or have a sincere message or a service that you really feel within your heart that you need to get out or that you want to get out. I know you're talking about it on your live, Paul, the other night, right? How you don't know what you want to do, but you're still going live. And one of the key things that you even told your friend Brian on the live, because I think he was asking you questions, right, about equipment and stuff. It's not about the equipment,
Mm-hmm.
because as you continue in your life, your equipment will get better. You know, you're gonna learn tips, you're gonna learn tricks, you're gonna learn about you're gonna learn about that stuff. But if you really have a message or something that's valuable that you need to teach people, just do it. Just go on live. Don't do like me and wait till you get to a place where the internet is not good. All right. So if you have the good internet, if you have the stuff that you need right now, go live, get your message out there, and be a positive influence on other people.
Love it. Love it.
I
Thank
love
you.
that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Um, Man, this was so great. Thank you for joining us. This is so wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Cool. Everybody,
Yeah.
check out Cutting Edge TV. Links in the description. And Mario, dude, have an amazing day.
Yeah. You guys too. Thank you, guys. Blessings to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Kat, I'm gonna be real honest. Sometimes I think I don't shut up, and you can tell me to shut up and be like, Paul, I have things to ask. So shut up.
I would probably try and step on your toes somehow. Don't worry. Don't
I
worry.
don't think you would. I don't think you would. That's the thing. I don't think you would.
I think if I really want to say something, I chime in. I'll speak up. And I also don't. I think you are not monopolizing in the way that you maybe think you are.
Okay. Can we just You know what I realized is I still have Mario's mic on. So just hearing the ghost of Mario laughing in the background.
It is all good.
It's all good. Hey, so wow, we're really on time. We're doing great.
I know. Look at us. Yay, us. And
Look at
I
us.
actually, before we went into the interview portion, I did want to say I noticed that Paul from Love Audio Productions shared that he also struggles with content on the weekly lives. And so it was nice. I'm glad that Paul was willing to chime in with that comment and trying to figure out and adjust as you go, which is, it's always dynamic, right? We're always changing and trying to pivot and figure out what's going to serve our audience the best. So thank you for sharing that with us, Paul. And you, Paul Burke, did you want to tell us a little bit more?
Sure.
More about that. Oh, and I see you have a comment from Kevin about the BBC interview.
Yes, real quick. So if you're curious, in the comments, I think Kevin dropped a link to that BBC. So if you want to see a baby intrude on an interview, great clip. And very memorable. And clearly did not go the way it was supposed to, and is very memorable. I always think the things that go off the rails are usually the most memorable ones. But anyways, what's up, Dr. Elo? Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Right,
Are you on live today, Dr. Elo? Let us know in the comments or in the chat.
Let us know. It was a great interview, Kevin. It was Mario super insightful. That was awesome. Yes, sorry. I got distracted reading comments. I don't know what to do with my life, Kat. Listen. I don't know what to do. What do I do? I'm really kind of at a crossroads because I'm kind of like, well, maybe I should just make videos and kind of put live to the side for a little while. I'll tell you one thing I've done the last 4 or 5 days, not read Facebook. Boy, What a life-changing experience.
Yeah,
Staying off of
so, but
Facebook.
did you find that helpful?
I did. 100%. I went down
Yeah.
less rabbit holes. I judged myself less. I mean, it's so funny. We're pretty, let's be honest, Kat, we're pretty smart people, but
We
it's
got brains.
we got brains, and I think you can tell we have brains by the phrase we uttered. We got brains. Um, what kind of that's an intelligent statement. It's a very smart statement.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so funny. Like even even people who are intelligent are aware of the fact that what a rabbit hole you can get sucked down in Facebook, and you're like, oh, it's not going to happen to me. And then it just creeps in the edges more and more. And then you catch yourself just opening the app so much and following things and reading things and judging your life on other people's lives. And even when you're so aware that it can happen to you, it happens to you. It just creeps around the edges. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
I've tried to be on less, and
Well,
it's great.
I think I shared with you that and I do have to say thank you for the compliment. I see that in the chat, there's a compliment on my hair. Part of that is because I have these little guys now, the in-ear headphones, so I don't have to have the big boys. So now my hair is a little different on this show. Yeah, big boys like Paul.
Hmm.
But I did want to share. So on this past weekend, I actually did a virtual weekend retreat. So I used to, before we shut down, I used to attend retreats pretty regularly, professional development sessions, and had never tried doing a virtual format where it's so much time because I just think, oh, I'm already on the computer so much. Can I handle being in Zoom sessions for this retreat?
Mm.
And I decided that the best way for me to be engaged in this retreat weekend is for me to just commit to that as if I'm at a hotel or that I've gone away for the weekend and then I'm in a different set of circumstances. And I
Oh.
purposely decided to stay off of social media so that during a break, because we would have a nice, 2 hour lunch break between our sessions. And I thought, I don't want to just sit there and mindlessly start scrolling on my phone. I'd rather stay present, restore, whether that's knitting, going for a walk outside, making a nice dinner. And I did, in the evening, watch a movie or something, but it was different than just kind of there's a very different experience when you just lose yourself in those feeds. And then, as you said, you open it. So, like, I will have closed it,
Hmm.
open something else, close that, then just go right back to the other one. I think this is not good. This is not healthy.
You know what I should do is uninstall it. And every time I want to access Facebook, I have to go through the process of installing it and logging in. That I would probably very quickly use it a lot less.
That is one option. Yeah. Having physically well, no, physically removing it, but what I have found, because I did that with Twitter,
Hmm.
I found that I was going down a bit of a Twitter rabbit hole in early November,
Mm.
and I thought, okay, I need to step away from this. So I took the app off my phone, but you can still get it on a browser. And then I was looking at it on the browser. I thought, okay, this hasn't really worked the way I thought it was. It's not as good of an experience. So I didn't spend as long on there, but it didn't quite make it go away. So I feel like there's got to be different options for stepping back and deciding what are your boundaries.
That's true. I should take control and make my own boundaries. But if you can't, I will also say this. There's a great app on Chrome called Facebook Feed Eradicator. It
Oh,
it blocks your Facebook feed. So if you're on Chrome and you go to Facebook, you can go to messages and completely bypass the feed. And instead, it replaces the feed with very helpful quotes about seize the day and a life worth lived
yeah.
and stuff like that. It's a nice way not to get sucked down a rabbit hole on your desktop. So, but also
And
boundaries important.
does it allow you to go into groups?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you can click on groups, and then once you're in a group, it'll populate it. But it's just when you
Yeah.
pop on Facebook, it blocks the feed. I don't know how it does it. I don't know how long it will be allowed to do it. I'm sure Facebook's like, But it
I
works
love that
great.
idea because what I would say, and yeah, Sarah saying here for several months I took a weekly tech Sabbath, which was great, and then fell off the wagon. I always benefit from the breaks, but I also benefit from the communities that are on there. I learn so much from my peers and people who are in groups. So I don't want to. I know there are people who have completely eliminated it,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of envious of them, but I also appreciate the helpful nature and how much I can learn, and I've been able to do a lot based on all of the incredible people that I've been able to connect with. So I don't want to completely get rid of it, but I do want to have a healthier relationship with it. And I definitely felt better stepping away for a few days. Just as you said, when you step away for a few days, it's noticeable.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure because you're like, yeah, I get a lot out of Facebook, but then again, it also can suck me down rabbit holes. Strange, as I was about to say a double-edged sword, what almost came out of my mouth was a double-edged fish, and I'm like, those don't exist, and that's not a phrase. Double-edged fish is nothing.
or or do they exist?
Or do they exist? Let us know. Are there double-edged fish?
Excuse
In
me.
the comments, let us know. There's got to be a fish out there with two edges. Well,
Yeah.
boy. Um, yeah, so I don't know. So I guess I'm in the midst of kind of a little sabbatical of
Hmm.
social and just trying to figure out what I'm trying to do. And I went live last night and had a really wonderful conversation with everybody in the chat. I feel very lucky. I feel very lucky that we have very smart people in our chat. Here on my live, it's really great. Like people I just really enjoy talking with and learning from. So that was
Yeah.
nice last night. And yeah. So I
So
still
you'll
don't know what
keep
to do
us
though.
posted.
What?
You'll keep us posted
Yes,
on what you decide.
was a long way of saying I'll keep you posted.
Well, no, I
No, it
was not
was.
trying to sum you up, just in case you were wondering.
No, sum it up.
And I
Yeah, keep
see
going.
that Kevin has a comment here. I've been using Facebook, Instagram very differently. I post every day, but things I really want to share with inspire my audience. I find this elicits positive responses back to me. Yeah, what you
Oh,
put out is going to translate back to what you get out of it.
love
I
it.
think.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I think you can have a positive relationship with them, but you have to kind of gauge how you're doing. And I think that's the same maybe with live streaming where you can have a positive relationship with it, but there can be times where maybe it's not maybe you do need to step away a little bit, reassess, come back with a renewed energy,
Hmm.
perhaps.
I think you're right, and I think that's where I'm at. So yeah.
Double-edged swordfish. I love that, Sarah. That's funny.
Ooh. Don't be sorry. Sarah, that's right up our alley. Nothing to be sorry there. Love it. Kat, what are you working on this week? What's happening in the futures?
So, oh, what's this here? So what am I working on? I am going to continue to sort of map out the content. And so I don't know if I shared this with everyone, but the type of content that I am looking to do on my personal channel, the Cat Mulvihill, is more so around how do you make more engaging workshops? Because as you may or may not know, I run workshops for groups, and so I use a lot of the live streaming technology, but in a Zoom format or in other web software where it is a closed group. So I'm not publicly live streaming, but I'm using a lot of the same effects, overlays, graphics as a teaching tool. And I personally have sat on the other end of a lot of kind of tedious presentations. And so I feel sort of like a personal mission to help people have more engaging webinars and workshops and presentations because a lot of us are spending a ton of time in work related settings. And if I can help people figure out, okay, how can I make this more engaging? I feel like we owe it to the people on the other side of the screen to have a higher quality product than just slapping up screen share and just droning on for an hour because that happens a lot for people who and we're online a lot, and if there's a way to just make you to be more present and to get more out of those sessions. That's what I would like to teach. So that's some of the content that I'm working on. So I want to figure out, how do I present that in a way and roll it out in a way that it is meeting a need and helping people who do care about the product that they're putting out there, and they want to be able to leverage some of the tech, but maybe they don't have the time to go and learn all of it like we have. So if I can give them little short snippets of how to do that, I think that would be a positive thing.
I think that's so smart. I think the world needs that, because I've been in meetings like that where it's like, oh, how much longer? Did it just start? Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
And even
great approach.
I watched a webinar yesterday, and the entire time the eye line was at the screen the whole time. And I just thought there are so many things we can take from live streaming and incorporate them into just regular sessions that are being held with people, making eye contact with the camera so that the person on the other side feels like you are talking to them, not reading off of your screen. And you think you're looking at them because you are looking at them, but you're not looking at them. So how do we kind of take some of this information for people who they don't care about live streaming, but they do have to do a presentation to a group of people online? So how do you make that a better experience?
Got it. You don't care about you don't care about live streaming, but how do you keep your job? By
And
being
I see
decent. Oh,
I see a question
oh,
from Paul.
okay.
Scissors, paper, Paul. Kat, what do we need to do to treat our grays? So treat our grays. What do you mean? What hair care do you use? Because I'm still learning that. If that's the question you're actually asking, I'll get back to you on that. I have started to use a product on my hair called Olaplex, which is like a bond strengthening agent or something like that. And I actually have noticed a difference, and I really like it. Whereas before, I just literally would go to the salon, dye my roots, and then not do anything with my hair at all. And now that I am not doing that, I am taking a little bit better care of it. But that's the only thing I can think of right now. But I'm still trying to figure it out. And I don't know if that's what you're asking.
But welcome to a little corner of the show we like to call Are We Gray Now? With Kat, where she gives you down and dirty tricks on how to gray. Down and dirty sounds bad. Real quick, I think this is genius. Kevin, try a meme on Insta or Facebook. I think your audience would eat that up. They go bonkers when I use them, says Island Paul. Oh, all right. Okay. I like it.
Nice.
That's a good tip.
And you gonna put that one from Kevin up about melting the audience with your blue eyes right now?
Oh, me.
Well, you need to add a little bit of music to that. All right.
No, I don't have it. I don't have it on. Kevin, here's what you do. Replay this. Put some music on. What do you like to listen to when you're looking into baby blues? Treat yourself, Kevin. Okay, so that's...
Choose your own adventure. Pick your own music.
Oh, me? What am I doing this weekend? Let me think. Oh, so real quick, what I'm doing this week. I'm sorry, Kat, did you have... I'm cutting you off. Am I cutting you off?
No, we're all good.
Great.
Yeah, you go.
Cool. Kevin, I'm glad it was good for you. Call me in the morning. Don't call me, Kevin. This won't work. We're just coming from two different places. So what I'm working on this week is I'm doing more improv drop-in classes. And I actually sold out of my drop-in class tonight.
I saw that. That's exciting.
Here's the thing. Selling out is kind of a complicated term when it's a pay what you can class. So it's more like I've reserved out of space of my course. And yeah, I'm super excited. It'll be a lot of fun. I like teaching improv and yeah, doing that. Also, real quick, if you do want to sign up, one thing about improv, people drop out all the time. So even though it's sold out, I 100% know it's not going to be sold out. So if anybody watching is curious, feel free to sign up. You'll probably get in. Anyways, yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to work on making more engaging improv content on Zoom
good.
calls. So it's kind of like a form of live, but kind of performative at the same time. So yeah.
I think that yeah, translating from in-person improv into online improv is maybe an area that people want to know about. So if you have that knowledge and you're finding out in real time what works, what doesn't, and then can let people know, there might be an audience for that.
Here's the thing. Can I be honest with you?
Mhm.
And I know we're going a little bit over, so I'm going to make it very quick. I realize, and I think people, I don't know, I'm curious if people in chat find this too. The thing that you love is applicable in so many different ways for people's lives. So me selling it as an improv class, I think is doing a disservice to it's hurting my product because it's not so much about improv. Improv is such a niche thing. A lot of people are like, no, why would I ever want to do this? This does not serve me at all. But everybody who takes it is always like, oh, this helps me over here and over here and over here. And that's the things I need to focus on because over there and over there and over there, people care about. Improv, not so much. So, boy, I got to work on branding. So I guess that's what I'm working on
So
this week as well.
Just say, this will change your life. Sign up here, pay what you can.
Yeah, you want to change your life in an hour, 60 minutes? I'll do it. I'll give you a 1 hour experience that'll change your life. And you can pay me whatever you want. Leave the money on the table.
Doesn't sound sketchy at all.
Nope. Pay by the hour. That's my new improv class. Pay by the hour. This has been fun.
Might work. We'll see. All right. I feel like our problem is that every time we're like, hey, we're doing well on time, then we just do what we do.
We do what we do.
And stretch.
All right. Well, we want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye.